My name is Sonia Jones if you are new here. I'm actually pre-filming this video. I'm not gonna have social media all of November, so I will say that, disclaimer, if you guys comment on this video, I won't see it for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna share with you guys 27 things that I have learned at 27 years old. And these aren't in any particular order. Number one, you have to process and work through your trauma. Every single person has some type of wound, some type of trauma, and part of our jobs, I think, as a person, in order to keep growing, to keep evolving, to not stay stagnant, you have to take a step back, look at your life, look at everything that you've ever been through, what your first memory is to the point that you're at now, and think about how every single thing that you've been through has shaped you into the person you are. Process that. Processing your trauma is different for everybody, you know? For some people, it's therapy. For some people, it's journaling. For some people, meditation, prayer, exercise. That can be therapeutic for some people. Theater. It'll help you better understand who you are, why you are the way you are, why you think the way you do, you speak the way you do. Everything that encompasses you stems from everything you've been through. Unresolved trauma can show up as tension in your body, some physical illnesses, mental illnesses, anxiety, depression, fatigue. Number two, treat yourself the way you would treat a close friend. If your best friend came to you looking for support, you wouldn't tell them, oh my god, you're like the worst person alive. You most likely would offer your friend kindness and grace and love and understanding, and you would tell them to not be so hard on themselves and to remember they're human and they're flawed. People make mistakes. You would comfort that friend and try to help guide them in the way that they need help. So if you're struggling with something, treat yourself with kindness, and then moving forward and trying to make sure you're being mindful of how you're being as a person. Number three, trust your gut. Your intuition is your body telling you based off of past experiences if something is right or wrong or something feels off. And so trust your gut, because a majority of the time your gut is right. 4, stop caring about what people think about you. You cannot control how every single person thinks about you. There is always going to be somebody who doesn't like you, somebody who misunderstands you, and your job is not to interpret or try to understand why they don't like you and try to change to be somebody that you're not. You're not responsible for people liking you, and you shouldn't care, because your quirks, the things that make you who you are, your individuality, that makes you you. Don't let anybody steal your spark. Number 5, it's okay to say no more often. It is not anything personal to decline an invitation from a friend, from a family member. If you're not feeling up to it, if you overbooked and you're realizing like you have no social battery left in you and you're just dreading going to something, it's okay to say no. It's okay to change your mind. Just say no. It's okay. No is a complete sentence. Stop reading self-help books. Read books written by licensed professional counselors, by therapists, by people who went to college and got an education in the field of psychology. I feel like that is much more helpful and actually informative versus reading self-help books written by celebrities or influencers who have made it, because a lot of times in those books it's just toxic positivity, and it's not actually telling you how to deal with the things that you're dealing with, and doesn't help you understand who you are as a person. I will say, when you read stories from these people who have, made it and who are successful, seeing that they had a difficult upbringing makes them feel not so like a superhero, if that makes sense. They feel more human. I think also it can be inspirational if somebody, had a really hard, difficult childhood and then they were able to chase after their dreams and make them come true. I'm not trying to take away from the people who have been vulnerable and written memoirs and talk about, difficult things that they've gone through in their own lives. But I will say, I feel like for understanding who you are as a person, and again, why you are the way you are, how to overcome, certain things that you're dealing with in your own. So like for me, dealing with my anxiety, how to overcome intrusive thoughts or rumination on the past and stuff. I have learned how to deal with that from reading books written by therapists. Check in with your body. Just now, I felt the tension in my chest, so I took a breath. I can still feel it like in my throat right now, It's the way I'm seated. I'm like talking all in my throat. I'm gonna try to fix this because it's like really closed. I'm gonna drink some water because I'm listening to my body. Check in with your body and listen to what it needs. So if you're feeling tired, did you get enough rest the night before? Have you eaten today? Have you drank enough water? Just checking in with your body. If you're feeling really tense, have you stretched recently? Have you been outside? Have you gotten some fresh air, some sunlight? All of these things are important and essential to live a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, just checking in with your body. Be a lifelong learner. Never stop educating yourself and wanting to learn more. Whether that is, let's say cooking, for example. Let's say you don't know how to cook. Teach yourself how to cook. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube. Like, there are so many resources. There's also people who like write blogs and stuff. There's so many different resources to figure out how to cook. Educate yourself. If you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook something and just start simple. Start cooking like 1 meal a week and, just increase it and try different recipes. And it doesn't have to be cooking, that's just an example. But if there is something that you've always wanted to do, whether that be drawing, singing, playing, like let's say you have a keyboard or you have a guitar that's collecting dust or something, an instrument, there's always ways that you can self-educate. I always want to increase my knowledge, and I have ADHD, and so I will hyperfixate on specific topics for a while and then I'll hyperfixate on something else. But yeah, it's never too late to teach yourself a new skill, and it enriches your life. Strive to be a kind person. There's a difference between being kind and being nice. Being nice is being a people pleaser. Being nice is not having boundaries for yourself. You protect yourself, protect your peace. Discover what your boundaries are and stick to them. You'll have different boundaries of different levels with different people. You know why you have those boundaries set in place. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody, and you don't have to bend your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. People who understand healthy dynamics will understand that boundaries are just set in place to protect your energy, protect your peace, to protect your well-being, and it's not going to be a personal attack on them. I want to strive to be the person I needed growing up. So I'm a parent. I'm constantly reminding myself that I am molding my children into who they will be as an adult. Obviously, I don't know how certain things will affect them, but I can control my behavior. I want to treat them with kindness, and I want to treat them with respect. I want them to know that they can say no to me. Like, for example, if I want to give my daughter a hug and she says no, I'm like, okay, that's fine. You said no. I'm going to respect that because I want her to know she is in charge of her body. I think that's very important when raising kids. They need to know that they're in charge of their body. So yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent. Obviously I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to lose my temper sometimes. But I need to, just be mindful of my actions during the day, how I'm talking to my children, how I am reacting, and remind myself that I can't take things personally because, this is a part of child development and things that go on with her during the day sometimes. It doesn't mean that she doesn't listen, it doesn't mean that she doesn't respect me, it doesn't mean any of that. Literally, it's developmentally appropriate and she's just trying to discover her place in this world. That's all that means. 12. Find your tribe. The people who you feel safe around, the people who make you feel loved and supported, the people who know your quirks, love your quirks, the people that are curious about the way your mind works, and people that accept you for who you are. Those are the people that you want to put your time and energy into. People who have common values. Obviously, you're not going to see eye to eye on every single thing. That's normal. That's being a human. But being able to have healthy conversations and discussions and being respectful of each other's views, those are the types of people that you want to be around. Ask for help more often. I am very guilty of not asking for help, and I have to remind myself I can't do everything on my own. I'm very stubborn, and sometimes I will try to do everything on my own, and then I will get frustrated because I'm trying to do everything on my own, and I need help. I have to ask for help more often. So if you're somebody who also struggles with that, don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't mean you're not strong. It doesn't mean you're weak or anything. Sometimes, we as humans, we need community. We need people. you need help. You can't do it all on your own. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Social media is not real. It's a highlight reel. Everything that you see online is what the person posting the content wants you to see. It's how they want you to see their brand, their image, whatever. And so just remember that, be mindful. I have to remind myself that, when I'm on the internet. Set a time limit for socials and actually get off when the time limit is reached so you're not doom scrolling. I have definitely been guilty of doing this. I'll be like, you reach your time limit, and I'll put 5 more minutes. I'm trying to be more mindful of actually getting off when it says time limit is reached. Fact check your news articles that you're seeing, especially on social media, because our phones are showing us an algorithm, right? They are listening to us constantly. They are going based off of what our searches are. And so it is very much a normal thing to be pushed out a specific type of news based off of what you're already reading and looking at. And so just make sure, whatever news you see, make sure you're fact checking it and you're getting reliable sources. The body is so much more than how it looks and what it weighs. That is something that has really started resonating with me this year, especially. I feel like just after having kids, I appreciate my body so much more for what it has done for me and what it can do for me, what it does for me daily. My body birthed 2 children, and I was able to breastfeed with Cora for 3 months, and then I've been able to breastfeed with my son this whole time, and so I'm very thankful for my body. Body neutrality is more so of what I have started implementing into my life, more so especially since having my son. Before, I feel like I was on the body positivity trend, and I'm not saying either one is bad, but just for me personally, body neutrality is more so effective. Body positivity is about, loving your body in any shape, size, whatever it looks like, versus body neutrality is more so respecting your body and everything it does for you. That just, resonates more with me. Body neutrality and reminding myself that I am so much more than what I look like, than what I weigh, than how clothes fall onto my body. For me, intuitive balanced eating has really healed a lot of my, I feel like, issues with the way I eat. But in high school, I really struggled with my body image. I cared so much about what I looked like. I would restrict what I was eating. A lot of times I was very obsessed with exercise. I ate, fast food. Then I would only eat 1 meal. Never want to be like that ever again. Obviously, I want to be mindful and try to have a balanced, healthy eating habits, but I don't want to have this mindset of, oh, I ate a burger, so now I can't eat anything for the rest of the day. I want to respect my body and nourish my body and have a healthy relationship with food. Number 19, be present. Every day is a gift. The morning when I wake up, or at some point during the day, I try to, thank God for this life that I've been given, for my family, for, just another day. Yeah, just be present and be chill. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Silence the notifications. Honestly, what made me start doing this is my friend came and visited, and she had her phone on Do Not Disturb. I was like, dang, what's that like to have it on Do Not Disturb? And she's like, well, it doesn't really bother me at all. And I thought about it, and I was like, I can put my phone on Do Not Disturb too. Anybody can. And so if you feel overwhelmed with notifications and just feeling like you have to respond immediately, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, put it on personal mode, whatever you need to do. Just silence the notifications. You don't have to respond instantaneously. 20 years ago, cell phones weren't smartphones, and it wasn't fair if you couldn't reach somebody on the phone, you could just get on Messenger and message them on Facebook. It wasn't like that 20 years ago. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Take some time to yourself. And honestly, if you like having your phone on Do Not Disturb, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb most of the time. 21, exercise looks different during different seasons of your life. Right now, I'm 4 months postpartum. I am starting to feel more healed in my abdomen area, in my back. I feel healed, and I feel like I can do a little bit more. But at the beginning, I was prioritizing rest. And after that first month, I was trying to, get exercise in 3 times a week. And for me, that was either jump rope, walking, an at-home workout. And that's still kind of where I'm at right now. Exercise doesn't have to look the same all the time. Self-care looks different during different seasons of life. Postpartum, at the beginning, right after, giving birth, making sure like you're showering, making sure you're getting enough food, things that should be like basic forms of care. Sometimes they get put on the back shelf when you're busy taking care of a human, sometimes you just forget or you get overwhelmed. Self-care looks different during different seasons of life, and that's okay too. 23. Again, guys, this is for me. I know not everybody can cook all the time. I know most people have jobs. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I like to cook, so I wrote cook often. There's something fulfilling about creating something, making something with your hands, especially if it comes out good, especially if it's a good meal, and being like, I did that, I made that. And then also knowing all the chemicals that are in our food, and this is not me trying to shame anybody, like we have so many like different chemicals and toxins in our food, and I don't even know what half of them are. I don't even know, like, a lot of them are cancer causing. In other countries, a lot of like dyes and stuff aren't even allowed, but for some reason the US thinks it's okay to let its people have certain things. For me, cooking makes me feel good. I like cooking. It's therapeutic. So if you're able to and you enjoy it, cook often. Stop oversharing online. Stop oversharing in general. Not everybody deserves to hear some of your really personal details. Some things you should keep private for yourself. Practice gratitude. I was saying this earlier, I like to try to start off my day with thanking God for just another day of life, thanking him for all of the many blessings I have. I have a roof over my head. I have a wonderful husband who I love and adore. He's my best friend. And I have 2 healthy children. I feel like it also just, if you're having like a bad day or if you're having a lot of like negative energy, I feel like that can really easily shift your mindset and shift you into like feeling more positive if you just think about, the stuff that you are grateful for. 26, stop taking yourself so seriously. Don't be afraid to be goofy. Don't be afraid of people laughing at you. It's okay for people to laugh at you, and it's okay for you to laugh at yourself. Life is, so short. Be yourself, have a good time. That's what life's about. My last one is find joy in simplicity. I personally, I've talked about it before, I'll talk about it again, but before having kids, I never would have thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. I never thought that I wanted to do this, but since having kids, I just am so thankful to get to be home with them and to get to see them grow every single day, see them hit their milestones, and just life, life is so short, and they're only small for so little. They're only, at home with you. You only get so much time with them, and so I'm just so grateful for me getting to stay home with them, enjoy the simplistic moments. I so much enjoy just day-to-day time here with my kids. My daughter is so funny. Like, she is so funny, and she doesn't even have to try. She just says stuff like out of nowhere that it'll just crack me up, and it just makes my day. And I'll text my husband and I'll tell him, and we'll laugh about it. It's really a joy to get to stay home and be here with my kids. My son is waking up though. Like I said, I started filming this, it's like 11:30, it might be 12 now, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you watched it all the way through to the end, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new and you want to stick around. And yeah, like I said, guys, I'm taking a month off social media. I have pre-filmed this video. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.